Speak to the locals around here and they'll tell you that this temple and its stunning folly gardens was built as an illicit love nest of a local reverend. Now, in the 17 and 1800s, follies like this were an important part of English garden design. But in which county is this one? On today's show, I'm helping a professional couple find a convenient and commuter-friendly hideaway. And there's an unexpected treat in one property.
Gosh, what a surprise! I didn't expect this to be up here at all.
Then the mystery house leaves them lost for words.
You like it, don't you?
I'm speechless.
Today I'm in Gloucestershire, and this is the rather quirky Temple and Folly Gardens of Stancombe Park. Designed by the Reverend David Pennell Edwards in the 19th century, local legend has it that, aided by his wife's large dowry, he built the temple for secret trysts with a beautiful gypsy girl. Now, to ensure that his wife didn't catch him, apparently he also built a series of tunnels and steep paths that were just too narrow for his rather portly wife to squeeze through. Whether he was successful in this rather devious ploy or not is unknown, but one thing's for sure, he certainly achieved his vision of creating a breathtaking landscape in this county, which has plenty more fantastic views on offer. Lying in the southwest of England, Gloucestershire shares a border with Wales and the English counties of Worcestershire, Oxfordshire and Wiltshire. The region encompasses part of the flat, fertile valley of the River Severn and the entire Forest of Dean. Gloucestershire is perhaps best known as the heart of the Cotswolds, with around 2/3 of the Cotswold area of outstanding natural beauty falling within its boundary. In the 18th century, after the publication of William Gilpin's book, Observations on the River Wye, the county's Wye Valley region quickly became a hotspot for British tourism. And today, visitors from all over the world still flock to this picture postcard part of England. All this beauty comes at a price. The average cost of a detached house in Gloucestershire is just under £287,000. Now that's £31,000 more than the national average. Now, searching in the villages around Stroud to the south of the county or the Forest of Dean out to the west will make your money go a little bit further. However, if it's the sought-after Cotswolds villages that you'd like to call home, do expect to pay up to 10 to 15% more than in the rest of the county. So, let's see what's currently on the market. For £345,000, you could be the owner of this 4-bedroom, Grade 2 listed property in Slimbridge. This historic farmhouse set in walled gardens has a real rustic feel inside and plenty of space to entertain. Offered for sale at £595,000, this 4-bedroom, timber-framed house in Upton St Leonard's comes complete with a wealth of original features, such as thumb-latched doors and exposed timbers. Outside, there's around an acre of landscape gardens. And if you've got deep pockets, you could buy this converted 5-bedroom mill in Alvington, which is priced at a shade under £800,000. Dating back to the 17th century and set within 15 acres of land, it boasts huge reception rooms, as well as an adjoining 4-bedroom cottage. A lovely selection there. Time to meet today's buyers and find out why they're ready to escape to the country. IT project manager Steve and his head teacher wife Sue have lived in their 5-bedroom house in Bristol for the past 24 years. But now their 2 daughters have flown the nest, they're planning the move to the country that Steve has been yearning for.
I think for the last 20 years I've been trying to convince Sue that we should move out to the country, and she's been stalling me.
I was a country girl, so I was born in Herefordshire in a village. So I moved into the city and loved it. And Steve's a city boy and would love to go to the country, so I've had my way, so it's his turn now.
Now it's my time. This house is not ideal for us anymore because our kids have grown up, the girls have grown up, so it's too big for us and it's in the middle of town and we want to move.
They're aiming for rural Gloucestershire, within 50 minutes commuting distance of Bristol. And they have definite ideas about what they'll be getting up to once they find the right place.
We both like animals.
I want to keep chickens, maybe ducks. I want to keep goats. I want to have some land where I can potter around in some outbuildings and sheds, and that would be fantastic for me.
I'm fine just watching him do that.
Then we like to get more horses because we need to keep a companion horse for Reuben, the daughter's horse, when he's staying with us.
So the outside of a property will need land for our buyers, and they know what they want inside too.
We're looking for a house with 3 bedrooms, or possibly 2. At least 1 reception, good-sized reception room. A house that's light and airy. A kitchen diner would be lovely. Doors from the kitchen leading out to the garden would be fantastic.
And then outside, I think we're looking for a minimum of half an acre. We tend to fall in love with things very quickly. When we go into a house, we either love it or hate it straight away. Probably not hate it, but we always know if we love something
I know whether
straight
I hate
away.
things.
Yeah.
I know as soon as I walk in that I hate it.
Well, love it or hate it, one thing's for sure, and that's the finances.
Our budget for this move is a maximum of £500,000.
Sue and Steve have lived in the same house in Bristol for 24 years. Having brought up their family there, the house has served its purpose and they're ready to start a new life in the country, a move that Steve seems to have been wanting to make for some time. Now, they are self-confessed love it or hate it people who will know in an instant whether a property is for them. And that does make me just a little bit nervous. I'm just hoping we can manage to get them through the front door of the properties we've found. Within our search area in Gloucestershire, Steve and Sue need a location with a manageable commute to Bristol for work and family reasons. We've found 3 intriguing properties for them to consider, and as ever, I'll be asking them to guess the price of each before I reveal it. The last option is, of course, our mystery house, which aims to take them somewhere completely unexpected. Good morning, Steve and Sue. Thank you for bringing me to Gloucestershire. We haven't travelled very far, though, have we, for the 2 of you?
No, we need to stay within commutable distance, really, to Bristol.
Why are you so passionate about this move?
Well, I've always lived in Bristol, but I've always loved the countryside. So I think it's time to move out and get some animals, some chickens and goats and some space.
That's a big change. What are the top 3 things you have to have in the property to make you make this move?
A house that's light and airy. I really like light and space. The location away from a really busy road. I'm going to move out from the city. I want something quieter.
For me, I've got to have some land, I've got to have some outbuildings and some space.
See, none of that sounds too difficult. It all sounds quite easy to do. I've got 3 lovely houses to show you. One of them's a mystery house.
Great.
So Steve and Sue's wish list for their £500,000 is a relatively small one. 3 bedrooms and a kitchen diner. But it's the outside that's got to be big, with a shed and outbuildings for Steve, at least half an acre of garden with room for chickens, ducks or goats, and a paddock either in the grounds or somewhere nearby. For our first property, we've crossed the old Severn Bridge heading to the pretty village of Brockweir, which is close to the border with Monmouthshire. Nestled in the Wye Valley, Brockweir has many amenities that will appeal to our buyers, with a village store and a charming local pub. House number 1 is a recently renovated country cottage, which dates back to the 19th century. Here we are, our first property, and I'm pleased that you're smiling. What do you think of it?
I think it's beautiful too. I think the house looks very much up together. And the garden's big.
Beautiful setting.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that worries me is the slope.
Okay.
Having had a house built in a slope. That's the only thing at the moment that's just worrying me, but I'm really looking forward to looking inside the house.
Should we have a look?
Yes, please.
Come on. While Sue's not sure about the garden, I think that when she sees the kitchen diner inside this house, it could be a very different story. So, come on through. What do you think?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think it's a really lovely kitchen. It's very modern, very new, very clean.
Light.
Yes, light.
Magic word.
I love the table so that you can eat in here, and it's a really sociable place. And the doors out to the garden.
Yes.
That's just what I asked.
That was just what you asked for, wasn't it?
First impressions, very nice.
Well, out down here, just to give you the layout, you've also got a downstairs shower room and toilet. And of course, there's a living room for you to settle in on cosy winter's evenings, or even summer's days like today. Come on. Well, with the kitchen definitely a hit, let's see how they rate the lounge area. Right, so this would be your living room. Again, you've got doors slightly smaller, but leading out onto the garden. And it's, I think, a nice bit of space. You've also got the wood burner over there, so bringing in a touch of the rustic into
Yeah, we like the wood
modern room.
burner.
Yeah?
Definitely, yeah. It's funny, the ceiling feels lower.
Well, we're now in the original cottages.
Yeah.
But then, as I said, I mean, you've got that big space there. So, how do you guys live? Often people spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's where you're sitting and having meals, and then you do come for your snug time.
Yeah. It's
Sort of in the living
cosier.
room.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely right. That's how we do live. We're in the kitchen diner at the moment, and then into
And
the
the
front
garden,
room
actually.
and the garden.
I think it would be good to have another space.
I'm not convinced that we need another room. It's just the two of us now, basically. You know, the younger daughter's away at college most of the time, and I think 2 rooms is enough.
There may just be 2 main rooms downstairs, but they are very large ones. However, the upstairs is surprisingly spacious, with a family bathroom and 4 bedrooms, which are all quite generous in size and a perfect space for the girls when they come to stay. But we're taking a look at the main bedroom. I wanted to bring you down to this end, to this one, because stud wall here and another little smaller room, which has got 2 singles in it, so it's not that much smaller behind. So I was thinking this could be one big master suite.
I think that's a good idea. Take that down, move that,
Yeah.
take that wall out.
And you have got a really big space.
I don't think we need 4 bedrooms, so having a large master bedroom is much better.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look in that other space, and then we can talk a bit more clearly about what you could do with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, finally, the smallest of the 4 bedrooms. So, they said they managed to fit 2 singles in, but not much else. However, what's important to you is, of course, the outside space. And we touched on it at the start, but let's go back out there and really talk about how much land you get and, of course, how much this would cost.
Brilliant.
OK, after you.
Thank you.
We know that Steve loves his space, so it's crucial that this property has enough room to build his shed and keep some animals. Let's see if we can make his dreams come true. Oh, it's so pretty out here, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Really gorgeous.
Yeah.
And all in all, you get half an acre here.
Okay.
If you're looking for space for the horse, which I know you are, you'd have to rent some land nearby, and there's fields nearby. Well, you get half an acre, you get this beautiful house, but it all comes at a price. So I'm going to start with you, Sue.
Right. Well, we haven't been looking in this area of Gloucestershire, so I'm not quite sure, but I'll go for 435.
I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go 465.
Well, I've got to say, your guesses aren't too bad. Neither of you were right, though, of course. It's actually on the market at £449,000.
Okay.
So somewhere in between. Plenty of food for thought. Mm-hmm. Go, think about it, and then tell me your thoughts later on, OK?
Okay.
All right, see you later.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. I think a good reaction to our first property. Sue clearly wants to focus on the house and needs some more space, but I'm very pleased that Steve was happy with the half an acre of land and they were looking at how they could really make this their home. So, well within their budget at a shade under £450,000, this property has the large and airy kitchen diner Sue wanted, 4 bedrooms, so there's enough room for their daughters to stay, garden access from the downstairs rooms, and half an acre of land for Steve.
My first impressions of the property were very good. It looks, from the outside, it looks up to date, it looks clean and tidy, and I think that was borne out from when we went inside the property. They've obviously done a lot of work on it.
Well, when we arrived, I was a bit alarmed at the steepness of the drive. I was sort of imagining myself in the winter, sort of needing crampons to actually get to the house. But the house is beautiful, it looks beautiful, it's very picturesque. It's set amongst woodland and it's beautiful.
Feeling good?
Yeah, good look around, thank
Lovely.
you.
Are you happy with that start?
Yeah, very good start.
But it is just the start. We have got another property to see, so let's hit the road.
Okay.
As Steve is interested in keeping chickens and ducks, and both our buyers are keen on wildlife, while in Gloucestershire, we've arranged for them to visit a very special nature reserve. They're being shown round by the reserves manager, Dave Paintner.
Right, well, welcome to Slimbridge. Slimbridge is the headquarters of the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust, founded in 1946 by Peter Scott, son of the Scott of the Antarctic, so that's the connection there. But Peter's idea was to get people interested in conservation. And what you're seeing here in the middle of the centre, the collection of captive birds from all over the world, were used as a way to try and draw people to come in here. And for that reason, he's been talked of as the founder of modern conservation. I'm going to kit you out properly first. So if you want to take a pair of binoculars each.
Thank you.
And if you want to join me, and we'll head out and start exploring the wetlands.
Okay. Lovely.
Okay,
Thank
come
you.
this way.
Encompassing 325 hectares, Slimbridge is the largest of the charity's 9 wetland centres and provides a safe home for the world's largest collection of swans, ducks, flamingos and geese, around 70,000 in all. Many of the species here are rare or endangered, and the centre is involved in research, breeding and conservation programmes to protect these species and their habitats.
Lots of hides scattered around here and a whole set of different wetlands, some of them created, others like this one are just flooded. We control the water levels through here just to try and optimise the habitat for birds. A few things scattered around here at the moment. Flocks of black-tailed godwits feeding away out there. They're the ones of sieving. If you have a look with the binoculars, you can see them sort of probing the mud with their bills, looking for food, looking for tiny midge larvae in the mud there. But the real special one, you see the big white bird just sat there at the back. Now that's something quite special. That's actually a spoonbill.
And that's a very rare visitor.
That's quite a rare one. It's increasing. We're seeing a few these days, but it's still a special day when we see one.
But hides aren't the only way to see the wildlife here. 4 years ago, the centre opened 1 kilometre of water channels that you can explore by canoe, with the chance to get closer to dragonflies, warblers, ducks and maybe even a water vole.
The canoe trail here is open to the public. It's great fun, but it's also a great way of seeing some of the wildlife that's rather more difficult to see in other situations. So just look ahead, for example, see the family of moorhens, little tiny baby moorhens up there. Just getting close to stuff like that is just absolutely fantastic.
In the last century, over half of the world's wetlands have been lost through land drainage, mostly due to housing and business developments. The Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust is aiming to redress that balance by creating their own protected areas while educating visitors about the importance of saving the ones we already have. But now, after all of that bird watching, it's time to resume our property search and find Steve and Sue somewhere to make a nest of their very own. We've travelled to the edge of the Forest of Dean, close to the village of Blakeney, which has a large range of amenities. It's also still within commutable distance to Bristol. Our second house is in the hamlet of Brains Green and was built in the 1820s, originally as a tabernacle church. Our second property of the day. We've got fabulous views again into the valley.
beautiful.
Pretty spectacular. And a gorgeous cottage. What do you think?
Well, setting is amazing, isn't it? The fields around it.
Yeah, I think the setting, the views are great. The house itself, I love the look of the house from the outside.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the first property we saw was very modern inside and the interior. I would say this one is much more rustic, it's got much more country feeling. Do you like those sorts of properties?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
do. And certainly if things need updating or anything like that, then that's grand.
That's grand.
Yeah.
Happy to do it.
Well, that's the spirit, Steve, because I think they'll find there's plenty of potential inside this property. Right. I said rustic. I think it delivers. You've got this as a feature fireplace, although I've got to say the flue isn't open, so you wouldn't actually be able to light that, but I think it adds some character. And this is just the entrance.
Certainly lovely floor.
Yeah. It's characterful. If that's a word.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
With the large entrance hall passing the test, I'm looking forward to seeing Sue's reaction to what is probably the best room in the house. Right.
Oh, wow.
So first of all, we come through here.
Yeah.
I've got a wow there.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's good.
No, it is. This is lovely space.
I like it. Yeah, yeah. First impressions, it's very good. I like the fact that Sue likes it.
That's a good start.
But it is.
Definitely.
It's the ceiling height is good.
Yeah.
I like the beam and the fact that there's a log burner.
Now that's electric. Again, it's like,
right.
like on the other side, so not in use. But again, a lovely little feature. And there's actually quite a lot of space in here, isn't there?
I mean, you
Quite a lot of light.
could open that flue up as well.
You could look into opening that up,
Yeah.
yeah, and really make something
You'd have
of that.
to, I think.
Yeah, have a nice log
Yeah.
burner in there.
Yeah, it's a waste without it, isn't it?
So getting the mind whirring. But this leads through into what I really want to show you. Now, Sue, you wanted space.
Oh, it's lovely, yeah. That is really nice. Yeah, I love the way it goes right the way through and you've got all the views at the end.
Yeah, it's a grand kitchen.
Yeah.
It's big. It's interesting.
Yeah, got lots of, again, character, nice range. You know, it's
There's also a flow to
potential.
the downstairs.
Yeah.
It flows round,
Bit of
whereas
energy.
the previous place didn't.
You can feel the energy flowing
Yeah.
through. Well, let's keep flowing through because
Okay.
there's more to show you. They seem really impressed by the downstairs of this rustic property, which also boasts a lovely sunny conservatory, a useful utility room and a cloakroom. But we're heading to the first floor, where I'm sure they'll appreciate the size and space of the 3 double bedrooms and single guest room, as well as the family bathroom. Now, time to check out where they would sleep. This bedroom is the master. Ooh, indeed.
Yes.
With an ensuite.
Gosh, what a surprise! I didn't expect this to be up here at all. I'm not sure about not having a door on the bathroom.
Me
but-
neither.
You can always change that.
But it is nice that the plumbing's all done already.
Yes.
I've got the ensuite.
Yeah, they've
You've
thought
got the
about
option.
it,
And
yeah.
another project for you, Steve.
Another project, that's fine.
Yeah, another one.
What are your thoughts and feelings overall?
I like the feel of it.
The deciding factor may well be the land, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah? OK, let me finally put you out of your misery and take you outside to talk about the land.
Fabulous.
With the inside passing the test, outside is where it all counts for Steve. And I think he's going to love what I'm about to show him. Well, we can start with half an acre of garden.
Okay.
It is on a slope.
Oh, yeah.
But hopefully you'll be cheered by the other 2 acres of land that come with this property.
Okay.
So you get that sort of field, paddocky area just there.
Oh, wow, perfect.
Yes. And lots of space for a horse. Plus outbuildings.
Now, that sounds really good.
Yeah, 3 good concrete structures.
Yep.
So you've got a workshop, garage, but really good solid spaces. Plus some wooden structures, 3 of those. Stable.
Okay. I think that sounds perfect for you.
Sounds absolutely perfect for me.
So, the all-important question, how much do you think this property is on the market for? And this time, I'm going to start with you, Steve.
Good.
Okay. I would say 450,000.
OK.
I'll go above him this time. I'm going, because of the acreage and the land, I'm going to go 475.
475. You are much closer, my dear.
Yes.
It's on the market at £480,000.
Okay.
So very close. But it has been on for 9 months. Why don't you wander off that way, have a look at the acreage, the outbuildings, tell me what you think later on, OK?
OK.
All right, see you later.
Thanks.
I think they quite like this one. A little bit lukewarm there at the end, but Sue, we got a wow, and she loves the size, and I think she can really see the potential. And what more could Steve want? He gets his outbuildings. On the market at £480,000, this property really seems to have hit the mark. It has 4 bedrooms, a huge kitchen diner for socialising, plenty of outbuildings for Steve, and it's all topped off with half an acre of garden and 2 acres of paddock.
All these outbuildings, Steve, you won't know
I know,
what to do with them.
all these sheds and outbuildings.
You'd be in the 7th heaven,
I
wouldn't
would.
you?
You've got a pen for, well, goats.
Livestock.
Yeah, livestock, goats.
Leading onto the paddock, which
Yeah.
is really good grazing.
Fantastic grazing, that paddock, for the horse.
Fantastic
Nice.
space.
Yes.
The house had lots of character and huge potential, although it already had a really nice feel to it. Particularly the kitchen leading onto the extension, the sunroom, and that was lovely.
Fantastic. I could live here. I like the situation, I like the house, I like the garden. I'm just concerned about the location generally, whether that would suit us having to commute back to Bristol. Hello.
Made yourselves at home in there?
Yeah, we have, very much so.
Oh, what did you think of the outbuildings?
I thought they were great. Stables, sheds, a workshop, everything that I wanted.
Suitably impressed, but that was just day 1. We have still got more to see. As the evening falls over Gloucestershire, it marks the end of day 1 of our property search. Steve has been trying to persuade his wife Sue to move to the country for nearly 20 years. Now their 2 daughters have grown up, she has finally given her blessing for a move to Gloucestershire. So far, we've given them plenty to think about with our first 2 properties. But coming up, our mystery house could be the one they've been waiting for.
Oh, what have you done?
Oh! We've actually really got you, haven't we?
Yeah, beautiful.
And I take my life in my hands and join the circus.
Oh, whatever you do, don't do that.
After years of persuasion by Steve, it does seem that Sue is finally ready to move out of Bristol. But one thing's for sure after yesterday, whilst for Steve, the outside land is the most important, for Sue, we have got to get the house just right. Now, I do think the mystery property can deliver for both of them. The thing is, to make them both happy, we're going to have to push them just that little bit further. Got a bit of a journey to get to our mystery house. How are you feeling about that?
Interested again. We seem to be going across the bridge again. Across the water. I've got to come to terms with that.
Are we going too far?
As long as you've got good road access for commuting back, you know, every day, then I think that's fine.
I think it really surprised me yesterday as to how quick we got back from the Forest of Dean.
We are making progress. We've crossed the Severn Bridge and hopped over the border into Monmouthshire, pushing their commute to Bristol to the limit. We're close to the town of Usk, which was a thriving market town in the Victorian era. The mystery property is situated in the small hamlet of Coiderpine and is a converted barn. I think you were very brave, letting me bring you over the border into Wales. It was all so that we could deliver this property to you.
Oh, it's fabulous.
It is beautiful. Really, really nice.
Gorgeous. Yes. Oh, what have you done?
Oh! We've actually really got you, haven't we?
Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous, and the setting is just amazing.
It's taking your breath away.
It has. It's made me quite emotional.
Good. Well, we've had the perfect result on your initial reactions. I think it's time we looked inside to see how it delivers there.
Okay.
Come on. If there was ever a response I want to a mystery property, that was it. Let's see if they feel the same on the inside. Step on in.
Oh, wow.
Another wow and a big intake of breath.
This is really, really nice. Yeah. You like it, don't
I'm
you?
speechless. Yeah. That's beautiful, and the fireplace is such a centrepiece.
What do you think about the structure?
I think it's absolutely wonderful. They've kept the main beam structure of the old barn, and it's really impressive. It's just grand to hold that.
Well, they're still under the spell of this house, and the next area should be just what Sue is looking for. It's actually quite a big kitchen up here. Well designed, I think.
No, it's
Right.
lovely.
It's a lovely kitchen. I love the floor.
Lots of work surfaces and that lovely door out into the garden,
back
which
out
is
into the front
great.
garden. And they've even created a little breakfast bar. I think
Yeah.
it's well designed, so you can sit up here and get another aspect of
Yeah.
your living area.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. Lovely.
You've done well.
Yes.
Very well.
I know you've said quite a few times, the house, yeah. It's
Oh,
more
but
about the land, but
I love
this one.
I love this. The barn conversion is just fantastic. Yes, it's really what I was looking for.
Despite what we said about wanting to do work, it is really nice that actually it is done and then you can just move in.
You could just move
You
in.
can move in tomorrow.
Wow. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I did, yeah.
You've got to sell that house quickly.
Yeah, I know.
So Sue's definitely sold on the downstairs of this stunning conversion, but they'll find there's a lot less going on upstairs, which is where we're heading to have a look at the master bedroom. So this is the only bedroom on the upper level, and I'm guessing it would be yours.
Yeah,
With views like that to
Yes,
wake up
it would.
to.
definitely.
That's
Yeah.
a good size as well. And again, retain the beams up here.
Kept the beams, you've got the ceiling height, so the
Yeah.
grandeur. Yeah. I can feel you relaxing.
Yeah, gosh, to come home to this would just be fantastic, wouldn't it? At the end of a day, a busy day, to come home and just relax and, yeah, it's just gorgeous.
And feed the chickens.
Feed your chickens, your alpacas, the horse, and maybe have a relaxing bath.
Oh, nice.
Oh, lovely.
Have a look in there.
That's a nice ensuite.
Yeah, oh, it's lovely.
There are a further 3 good-sized rustic-style bedrooms on the ground floor of this property that would be ideal for the girls' visits. And there's also a shower room which doubles as a boot room with garden access. Great for cleaning up after feeding the livestock. But how much of that vital space is there outside for those goats, chickens and horses? We're about to find out. Now from back here, you get another look at this house, and I think it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Now this is about an acre
Right.
that you've got here, and you've of course got the outbuildings around the other side of the property, stables. How do you feel about this amount of land? Is that enough for you?
Yeah, that's enough. An acre's just enough.
Here's the deal.
Yeah, okay.
With this property, you do just get the 1 acre. However, the owner also owns another 9 acres just down there.
9,
A meadow.
yeah.
And that's up for negotiation. So you
Okay.
could buy another 9 acres at around about 6,000 an acre.
Yeah.
Or you could rent. She's willing to rent, so you could see how it goes, see how much you need.
Yeah, that
it's all
sounds
meadowland at the
perfect.
moment. Perfect for the horse.
Yeah.
Good grazing.
Yes.
Good meadow.
Now we have to consider how much it will cost you to live this dream.
Okay, the house, acre of land, I'd say 490.
Okay.
490. Do you know what? Because it's over here in Usk, it's a lovely place, I'm going to go lower, 475.
Oh, Steve.
No.
You haven't got any better at this. You win again. This is on the market at £495,000, so you were very close. Well, I think you should enjoy this sunshine, go and indulge your senses wandering around this wonderful property, and I will see you later on when you've had some time to mull it all over.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
thank you.
What a cracking result. I've got to say, I'm a bit shocked. I didn't think Sue would love it that much, but it just goes to show the right house, despite the slightly further location, could help them to achieve their dream. Just within their budget at £495,000, this property gives Steve and Sue everything they've ever dreamed of. 4 bedrooms, a beautiful open-plan living area with a kitchen leading onto the garden. Outside, it has all the outbuildings and stables they need, and there's an acre of land with the opportunity to buy or rent more.
So that's the land.
That's the meadow that's on offer. Just knowing that you've got all that land, or some of it, that you can either rent or buy.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's fantastic,
isn't it?
perfect. The location really appeals, but it's quiet, it's peaceful, it's beautiful views, beautiful countryside. Inside is lovely. They've retained a lot of the character from the old barn, the large beams, and the layout itself is really nice. I think it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think you've done really, really well. Absolutely great.
I think I was quite shocked when we came across the bridge and headed into Wales, because we'd never, ever considered moving into Wales. But I must admit, when I first saw the property and just felt the peace and tranquility of the area, I was just blown away.
It's beautiful here. Absolutely gorgeous. Surrounded by the lavender. I've fallen in love with it. What about you two?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we both
It's
love
really
it.
lovely.
Good, good. Well, you certainly had a bit of an emotional journey over the last couple of days.
Yeah, I think so. It's
Yeah.
taken us out of our comfort zone.
Well, let's find somewhere for you to sit down, take it all in. We're back in Gloucestershire, and it was here in the year 2000 that local girl Nell Gifford set up a circus, which has gone on to receive national acclaim. Her painted wagons regularly tour the southwest of England, with a show which has played to over 250,000 people since it started. And I'm here to find out more. Yes, I've joined the circus. OK, I've taken a few hours out to come and meet the founders of Gifford Circus, created by a Gloucestershire family for the local rural community. Hello, Nell.
Hi.
Lovely to meet you. And congratulations. This is very impressive, putting together this whole circus. What inspired you?
When I was 18, I joined a circus in America, and I just only for a few months, but I fell in love with the travelling lifestyle and the theatre and the animals and all the families that spoke different languages and circus performers. What our idea was, myself and my husband Tossie, we started it, and what we wanted to do was make a village green circus, kind of a handmade show, like everything that you see, like box office, it's all built by us.
I could really feel that there's a real community spirit just wandering around, and locally people do speak a lot about it. You know, it's something they really enjoy. Is that what you envisioned?
For me, it's like, this is what I'd most like to see, like dancers, live music, horses, is my idea of heaven, and I kind of just thought everybody would love it, actually.
Well, with a couple of hours until curtain up, I'm off to meet some of the acts on the bill of this rural circus. And I'm getting involved in a bit of fire juggling, with the help of Tweedy the clown. So this is perfectly safe, isn't it, Tweedy?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
But we shouldn't try this at home.
No, you definitely shouldn't try this at home. You probably shouldn't try it here either, but never mind.
Never mind.
This is the thing with circus. It's all frills.
Frills
it's
and frills.
exciting.
Well, that's it, isn't it? You want to
Yes.
entertain the audience.
People on the edge of the seats.
And you're a regular in the show, aren't you, year after year?
I am, yes, and that's the thing. I have to come up with new gags.
Oh, I can feel the
and
heat
things.
already.
It is hot.
It's pretty
You will
hot.
feel it. No, it'd be fine. So again, we just need to stay absolutely
still.
still, and we'll all be fine. Oh, whatever you do, don't do that.
Let's try.
Don't do that. Have you got hairspray in your hair?
I have.
Oh, I should have asked that earlier. Never mind, we'll be all right. We should have bought some marshmallows.
Thank you.
Don't leave me.
Nell's troupe has grown from 18 to over 50 performers in its 11-year history. This summer, the troupe is playing up to 14 shows a week in fields, commons and village greens all over Gloucestershire and the southwest region. Each year they select different themes, and this season's is based on the Tolstoy novel War and Peace, brought to life for a family audience. It's been quite an amazing experience, but now it's time to wave goodbye to life under the big top and see if Steve and Sue have made their own big decision about our 3 properties. Well, after over 20 years, we've had an emotional couple of days, haven't we, trying to get you two out into the countryside?
Yeah.
So, the first property, what were your first impressions?
First impressions were that it was very nice. There wasn't enough room downstairs for Sue, I think. And the entrance to the property, you know, it was rather much of a slope.
It was vertical, actually, wasn't it?
And then the garden continued down on the slope. And although there was a fair bit of land, I think that would probably put us off.
There was just something about the house that just didn't do it for me.
Now, with property number 2, I have to say I was quite impressed with how you took to it. It was a bit of a project, but you seemed to really like it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, the land was perfect for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It had enough space. It had outbuildings, sheds, 2 acres, a pond, half an acre garden. It was really, really good outside for me.
And the house was interesting. It was full of character, and it was obvious that the owner had done a lot of work on it already.
One of the things I think with this journey has been taking you out of your comfort zone and getting you to take that leap and go, I'm serious about this move. And well, the Mystery House certainly tested you on that, didn't it?
It was a beautiful property. It was absolutely fantastic. It was the real dream of rural living.
It was brilliant. The conversion had been done really, really well. The beams, I love those big, heavy beams throughout the property. Fantastic property.
So, 3 great properties, but I really need to know, because I'm a bit unsure as to whether we've done enough to actually get you to make this move, Sue. 20-odd years in the making.
It certainly challenged my thinking. I think that last property made me really want to be extremely rural.
I think you've done a great job to get Sue to this position. I think that's easily commutable distance for both of us. No problem with that.
Will you put an offer in on our Mystery House?
We still need to sell ours, but we're going to really push to sell it because we really need now to sell it and move on. It's ready. I'm ready.
Yeah. And I think as soon as we sell our property, we will definitely be in a position to put an offer in on the Mystery House.
Well, Sue and Steve, it's been a real pleasure. I've so enjoyed spending time with you and helping you on this journey, step by step, into your dream home. I can see that you're both going to be very happy when you finally make that move.
Thank you very much.
When you've lived in the same home for 24 years, it takes some courage to make a move. And for Steve and Sue, I think they'd stalled in the process and needed our help to see things from a different perspective. But it goes to show, when you do, sometimes everything just falls into place. I'll see you next time on Escape to the Country. Steve and Sue did go back for a second look at the mystery property, but decided it wasn't for them as the commute was too long. They've now bought a house just to the north of Bristol, nearer to where they currently work. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/beonashow.